Discover the future of AI-powered digital experiences. Adobe Summit is live in Las Vegas March 17th to 20th. If you can't make it to the conference in person, join Summit online free from anywhere. Access inspirational talks from global brand leaders like Coca-Cola, Unilever, Marriott, and more in live-streamed insightful keynotes and Adobe Sneaks, co-hosted by comedian Ken Jeong, plus select from over 30 expert-led sessions. Register for free at adobe.com/go/marketersbrief.
Hi, I'm Erica Wheelis, food and restaurant marketing reporter at Ad Age, and welcome to another edition of the Marketer's Brief podcast, our weekly discussion about marketing news and trends that have the industry buzzing. Today, I'll be talking to Nick Chavez, the first ever Chief Marketing Officer for 7 Brew Coffee. The Arkansas-based drive-thru chain has been growing quickly, but already has a loyal fan base. 7 Brew focuses on the human connection, with baristas chatting with customers while they wait in line. The brand also has a highly customizable menu that goes beyond coffee. In this episode, Nick will cover why the chain stands out in the coffee category, its media mix, and how Gen Z and older millennials have been fueling the brand. Now, here's my conversation with Nick. Nick, some of our listeners might not know this, but you were actually the CMO for KFC for several years before coming to 7 Brew. So I actually kind of want to, we'll start back a little bit and then come up to the present, but can you talk a little bit about what drew you to the 7 Brew role? What drew you to the brand?
Absolutely. My story at 7 Brew really begins with trying 7 Brew for the first time. I was living in Louisville, Kentucky, and it's been a market that 7 Brew has grown very, very quickly in. And I visited 7 Brew. And you know what? I've been drinking white mochas my entire life, I would say. And I visited 7 Brew and I pulled through the double lane drive-through and I ordered a white chocolate mocha. And in all seriousness, it was the best white chocolate mocha I've ever had in my life.
Oh, wow.
So, first and foremost, I was just amazed by the taste and quality of the drinks at 7 Brew and immediately started following the brand on social, learning more about the brand, learning more about the specialty coffee and specialty beverage space. And so when the opportunity came and the call came to join 7 Brew as its first CMO, I was just thrilled to jump at the opportunity.
I like that. Okay, we're going to get to that first CMO part. But first, so the 7 Brew is not quite national, but you guys have about, I think, a little over 300 locations. You are growing very quickly. But how do you explain 7 Brew to consumers who may have yet to encounter it?
7 Brew is an incredible beverage experience, a customizable beverage experience. It is a fast, friendly, fun, and flavorful beverage experience where for someone who's never been before, you drive into 7 Brew drive-through coffee. It is only drive-through. It's a double lane drive-through, moves very, very quickly as you go through. So speed is very important to us. But the experience, the human interactivity is very important to us as well. We talk about the mission at 7 Brew being to cultivate kindness. And really, in every experience with our guests, that's our goal, is to be the best part of their day. And so we have an army of what we call our brew crew, our brewistas out in the lanes, in those double drive-through lanes, taking your order, helping you customize a drink that you are going to love. And then we serve up that drink as soon as you're at the front of the line. And so it's a great experience, both in terms of the human interactivity, as well as over 20,000 possible flavor combinations of drinks that we serve our guests in seconds.
Wow. Okay, so you mentioned, Nick, yes, you are the brand's first chief marketing officer. Very cool. I gotta ask, how does that help or hinder your plans for the brand? I mean, you're coming in, it's all you, it's not necessarily filling some shoes.
Mm.
So I don't know, how do you think about that with your marketing strategy?
It's a great question. And first and foremost, as you noted earlier, the brand is growing incredibly quickly. So 2021 was actually the first time that the brand began franchising and adding additional locations through franchise relationships. And so in 2021, Seven Brew had 7 locations in the United States.
Oh,
As we
wow.
as we sit here now in 2025, actually as of Monday of this week, Seven Brew now has 341 locations across the United States. So first and foremost, it's growing extremely quickly. We added a little over 140 locations in 2024 alone, and we're expecting to do well more than that this year. So as a new CMO, first of all, it's a blessing and a privilege to be joining a brand that's growing so quickly, not only in terms of new locations that we're adding, but also in terms of how much customers frankly love it and how frequently they come. So in fact, we are growing our same, we call them stands, by the way. We're growing our same stands at a very significant, well into the double digits in terms of same stand sales growth. So it's growing in new locations. It's growing in frequency and penetration among our audiences. So as a new CMO, my first priority is not to screw this up, Erica. It's I don't want to mess with anything that's certainly not broken. But then, obviously, then the second priority is really to understand what's working, why people love Seven Brew, and how we can introduce more and more people to Seven Brew as then we not only expand our number of locations, but expand our penetration in terms of markets and DMAs across the country. So I'm excited to say we're now in about 32 states across the country with those 341 locations. And that's going to grow very quickly to all 50 states and many, many, many hundreds of more locations, if not thousands more locations over the next several years.
So, like I said, you have been in the fast food space before with KFC. I'm curious if there are learnings or strategies that transfer to this role. Are there things that you have taken or learned at your time at KFC that you plan to implement with Seven Brew?
Well, certainly the in food, but really in from the beginning at KFC in the brand and the service model that frankly Colonel Sanders himself created, it was all about the food that Colonel Sanders created, as well as the service and the Southern hospitality that Colonel Sanders created in each of his restaurants. And it's not exactly rocket science in hospitality that it has to be a great product and it has to be great service. So, first and foremost, my job as a CMO, I think, is to protect and grow the experience of the brand, not just the awareness of the brand or the consideration of the brand or the trial of the brand, but actually the experience that customers have in interacting with that brand at every touch point from first moment of learning about the brand to the experience that they have as they enter the drive-through, as they interact with our brewistas, as they experience the drinks that we make, as they experience our menu and figure out what they want to create and enjoy at Seven Brew, to then that post Seven Brew experience. Did you enjoy it? If so, why? How can we, make sure that you're happy with your experience and come back again and again and again and again? And then, you know what? Tell others about it. Join our loyalty program, which, by the way, over 95% of our transactions are from loyalty customers at Seven Brew.
Oh, wow.
That tells you something about the quality of the experience. And my job as the CMO is to protect, grow, and build the quality of that entirety of that brand experience over time. And I think that's a big lesson I learned from KFC and certainly from the extraordinary company that is Yum Brands overall.
I'm glad that that was going to be my next question. So I'm glad that you brought up the loyalty program. Yes, because my understanding is that this is under your purview as well.
That's right.
And I feel like in this day and age, I think any CMO will say, yes, the loyalty program is a big part of this. That is very impressive that 95% of your orders are through that. But talk to me a little bit about the loyalty program. I mean, it seems kind of like an obvious question, but why is this important to keep that growing?
Again, core to the Seven Brew experience is the humanity, the kindness, the friendliness, and the personalization, if you will, the personalized nature of that experience. So first and foremost, our philosophy is that technology must always serve human connection, not the other way around, meaning that how you place your order, and it's not necessarily original to Seven Brew, but if you look at Chick-fil-A and you look at how you place your order at Chick-fil-A, especially when the drive-through line is full, it's some great friendly people going out there with their iPads taking your order. The
True.
exact same thing happens at 7 Brew, is that our brew crew, our brewistas are armed with the technology to go out and create the human interaction, the human experience, to chat with you, to make sure that this experience is the best part of your day. And so I think, what I'll tell you is one thing you'll never see at 7 Brew is a speaker box or voice AI. We have no interest in that type of experience. We're going to arm our brew crew and arm our brewistas with the technology to make the human connection that much better, that much easier, that much faster, and that much more fun for you. And the same goes for our loyalty program. Why do we have so many people signed up already? Before I joined the company, by the way, and oh, by the way, in the 3 months I've been here, we've added 1 million more loyalty customers in the time I've been here, is that it's very simple. You provide us your phone number, you provide us, opt in to our loyalty program, and then we provide you every 11th drink free. You get every 11th drink free. And you know what is even better is we also remember everything you've ordered, how you customized your drink, how you made it exactly as you wanted it. And that as soon as that barista interacts with you in the line, that's right up there on their iPad. So they know exactly how you customized your drink the last time you were here. And at a tap of a button, we can get that drink going for you in half a second.
That's nice. No,
Um,
no more of the like, oh, I can't remember what I had last time, but it was good.
that's right. That's right. So all of these are part of why we have 95% of our transactions going through loyalty, is it streamlines the experience, but then there's great value in the experience too, without a whole lot of complication, Erica, to be honest. It's like there's no calculators needed in your mind for, how far you are from your next, ability to get a add-on or customization for free, right? Like, no, it's just whatever your drink is, your 11th drink is free. Doesn't matter if it's a small, medium, or large, or you put cold foam on it, you put whipped cream on it, great, it's free. And people love that. And it's the reason why we have one of the highest frequency rates in our category.
I want to talk a little bit about Seven Brew's media mix or your plans for your
Mm,
media mix. Are there places where you or channels or platforms where you are investing or want to invest more, kind of a deal? I mean, is it TV? Is it digital, social, out of home? Where are those dollars going?
sure. I would say first and foremost, we build from the community up, if you will. We build from we call them stands. We call our location stands. We build from our coffee stands out. And so first and foremost, our priority is how do we engage the community around every one of those 341 new locations? How do we invite them to be a part of this experience? So we invest heavily in things in our community relations, in our community engagement, in signing up, folks for that loyalty program before we even open the drive-through lanes. And so a lot of it actually just happens locally. A, B, certainly as we scale and we create more critical mass in more markets, then we begin to invest a little bit more in creating new customer awareness, generating new trial and new traffic within that market. And, that can be all kinds of things. That can be geo-targeted digital, that can be geo-targeted paid social, that can be out of home, that can be local audio, all kinds of stuff. And then as we start to penetrate, more states, more regions of the country, certainly we're going to be placing and starting to place some bets as a brand in more national media and starting to, till the soil, so to speak, in some markets where 7 Brew doesn't already exist, but to let them know that we're coming. We're coming fast. And it's an experience like none other you've ever had in specialty beverage. And so we're kind of growing, if you will, from the stand level out. And as we penetrate more markets and as we reach that national scale, then we're going to be putting bigger deposits in the national media bank.
Okay, let's take a short break to hear this message from our sponsor.
If you can't make it to Las Vegas for Adobe Summit March 17th through 20th, join Summit Online to access free live streamed events and select sessions from anywhere. Explore how leveraging AI can help you deliver exceptional customer experiences, drive efficiency, and prove measurable impact. Get an exclusive first look at never before seen technology during the popular Adobe Sneaks showcase, co-hosted by actor and comedian Ken Jeong. Visit adobe.com/go/marketersbrief to register for free.
Welcome back to the Marketer's Brief podcast. I'm speaking with 7 Brew Chief Marketing Officer Nick Chavez. Nick, I want to ask too, can we talk a little bit about who are the customers coming to 7 Brew? And I ask this because I feel like in the drink space in particular, this is a spot where Gen Z loves to play. They are very big on a customized drink, be it coffee or matcha or tea, anything like that. Is this your core consumer as well, or are there older generations who are attracted to the brand? And further, are there certain generations who you are hoping to make more inroads with?
Certainly, Erica, and this will touch a little bit as well on the media question you just asked, which is that Gen Z is fueling our growth. Gen Z is fueling the category growth of personalized, customized, specialized beverages. And oh, by the way, 7 Brew, while a tremendous number of our sales are in the specialty coffee space, we actually serve 7 different types of drinks, customizable in over 20,000 different flavor combinations. So when you think about coffees, you also then go to sodas and dirty sodas. You go to teas and lemonades, smoothies, milkshakes, and our fastest growing category is actually energy drinks. Again,
Ah,
customizable in over 20,000 different flavor combinations. So that being said, Gen Z is driving the consumption of specialty beverages across multiple categories. Gen Z is fueling the growth of the 7 Brew brand. There's no other way to put it. We are a brand that, at least over the last 3.5 years, has been built via social media, by social media creators, by influencers, and by our customers. Our growth on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and multiple other social channels over the past 3 years is extraordinary, including I think it's over 4x growth on TikTok in the past year alone. We were a recognized brand by TikTok in November of 2024, just as one of the top emerging brands on TikTok is 7 Brew. The only build I'll make to this, I'll make 2 builds to this. One is that Gen Z has done this before when I think they were known as my generation, Gen X, which was 30, 35 years ago, when we all thought that the coolest thing on earth, every cool thing on earth was coming out of Seattle. And whether it was grunge or whether it was a new type of coffee or a new type of way to experience coffee, Gen Z is doing it again, and they're doing it in a different way right now, 30, 35 years later. And 7 Brews at the peak and the pinnacle of that. And I couldn't be more excited about that. The second additional make is that now, if you look at our core buyer profile, is actually a little bit of an, call it older millennial audience with kids in the household. So
mm,
36 to 38, right in that sweet spot with kids in the household. They come most frequently. Now, what's interesting though is that it's often the Gen Zs, either maybe a little bit on the older end of the spectrum, like me, who has teenage kids in my house who want nothing more than to go to 7 Brew basically every day, or people who have kids in the house who want to know why this place is buzzing, why 7 Brew is buzzing, why they're hearing about it so much on social from people in that Gen Z cohort who are influencing their slightly older millennial counterparts.
very true. Hey, and I could see if you're a millennial parent with a double drive-through, but you still get that interaction. I can see how that's a nice, you know what? I don't have to take the kids out of the car, but I still get my caffeine fix for the
It's a
day.
beautiful thing. And you know what? The coolest thing, and I spent a week in December training in our stands. In fact, in our biggest week of all time at 7 Brew, which was during a promotional week in December, we called 7 days of 7 Brew, where there was a different kind of promotional and customer recognition event every single day of the week. And it's a remarkable thing. And one of the things I learned is that we do a pretty good job of seeing every guest in the car. not just the driver and like, what'll it be? What do you want today? But literally
Hmm.
connecting with every guest in the car. And you know what? We have amazing kids drinks. We have amazingly creative drinks and soda fizzes from caffeine free to sugar free that teenagers and teenagers love, and all the specialty coffees that parents love. We even have pup cups for the puppy and the dog in the car. So it's our job to make sure everybody in the car is delighted with the service and the experience and the taste really of Seven Brew.
Let's do like a higher level question here. This is my personal favorite. Let's talk about trends. What trends are you keeping an eye on this year? This can be in the specialty drinks category. It could be QSR in general. It might be marketing at large. I know AI is on everyone's mind, but what are you watching?
Yeah, the trends that I'm certainly watching are AI, more from the perspective of how can AI enable better human connection? How can AI enable and unlock human creativity? It's not about AI, replacing humans. For us, it's about AI enhancing human connection, productivity, and capability. And so certainly within the marketing realm and behind the scenes, if you will, of the guest experience and how we bring our brand to market and how we communicate and motivate others to try our brand, we're thinking about that quite a bit. A. B, specifically looking at things like dirty sodas and soda mixology. And like I said, about 3 out of 4 of the Seven Brew transactions and orders right now are in coffee-based beverages, but there's some really wonderful things we can do with and without coffee and espresso in our drinks. And new kind of experimental flavors where you're kind of combining coffees with sodas, believe it or not. A or B, non-coffee based innovation in lemonades and teas. And it's a big part actually of our experience is not only can you just have the quote unquote all the classic lemonades through Seven Brew, but again, you can make over 20,000 possible flavors of lemonade through our experience.
This is
So,
me. I am also a fan of like, you got a strawberry lemonade? Do you have a peach lemonade? Yes.
right.
That's what I want to try.
Right. But how about a Georgia peach lemonade or a pixie stick lemonade or an ocean breeze lemonade or a midnight rain lemonade? These are all different custom proprietary flavor combinations and recipes that we've created behind the scenes. They're right now, I'll admit, they're locked on what we call our secret menu. So if you can have these flavors. But from a marketing standpoint, and one of the things I'm working on and influencing a little bit is, hey, actually, let's not keep all of our secret menu flavors locked behind the vault. Let's actually enable discovery of those secret menu flavors for our guests and unlock additional demand and additional sell through in these categories over time.
In a similar vein, like a larger question here, and as somebody that has been in the QSR space for many years, I'm curious, like, is there a big shift or change in consumer habits that have stood out to you in the last few years? I don't know. Is there a way that something that's changed that you're like, wow, that's wasn't like that 5 years ago?
I think coming out of the pandemic, many QSR brands were recognizing that as inflation spiked and pocketbooks got tighter and tighter, and inflation really disproportionately impacts lower income segments in our society, every QSR tried to chase value, tried to
Hmm.
chase discount value, price discount value. And, for some, maybe that was the right thing. But I actually think the bigger thing and the more important aha there is that customers just want a great experience for the price they pay. It's not about the lowest absolute dollar in all cases. It's actually about, was the experience and the product that I enjoyed worth the dollar I paid? And so, if anything, what I've observed and what I've learned over time is that, yeah, we all cut back on certain things. Certainly I did, and my family cut back on certain things, but I'm also perfectly willing to pay for the things that deliver. again and again and again and again. I think it's brilliant what Kevin Hochman and George Felix have done at Chili's. It's a great experience. It's great value for the money. And certainly we keep that in mind as well. Our intention is always to serve premium quality drinks and provide the best possible experience you've ever had in beverages and be the best part of your day every single time. And are we competitive from a pricing standpoint? Absolutely. Are we parity or better in most cases? Absolutely. Do we provide delightful discounts like, our jackpot hour BOGOs and our double points Tuesdays and things like that? Absolutely. But the most important part of what value means to customers is that I get a great experience for the price I paid.
Well, Nick, normally I end these by asking, what's your order? But you have shared that it is a white chocolate mocha. So
Yeah, I have evolved though.
you
I
have
have
evolved.
evolved.
Okay. So
Yes,
then, Nick, yes,
yes.
what is your current 7 Brew order?
My current 7 Brew order is a large hot cinnamon roll. And with a cinnamon roll, it's actually brown sugar cinnamon and white chocolate breve. A breve is a proprietary smooth mix that we use. It's a half cream, half milk, but a cinnamon roll with that brown sugar cinnamon and white chocolate on top of a 4 shots of espresso is amazing. So I would recommend the hot cinnamon roll.
I like that. I'm also a cinnamon roll fan, and you did truly evolve. I like that it still has white chocolate mocha in
That's right.
it.
It does. Yes, it still does.
That was Nick Chavez, Chief Marketing Officer at 7 Brew, and I'm Erica Wheelis, Food and Restaurant Marketing Reporter at Ad Age. I'd like to thank our producer, Lauren Ciardio, and invite you to subscribe to The Marketer's Brief wherever you get your podcasts. We promise to keep it brief, or at least short enough for your morning coffee. Thanks for listening.
Marketer's Brief listeners get $40 off an adage.com subscription. Sharpen your marketing edge and visit adage.com/brief for your discount.